Shampoo Vineyard with Dan Nicholas and Chris Peterson, passing time. Dan, 2016, here we are. Are we farther along than 15? We know 15 was the hottest year on record. Where are we here with 16?
2016, we're about on pace with last year's. The difference in this year is we've actually had a little bit of a cooling, so it's been good for the vines to slow everything down and stop growth, whereas last year we were 110 degrees for 20 something days, and so the vines are always just fighting to struggle and keep going, so you have to actually water a little bit more to keep the vines moving. This year we've been able to just completely shut the water off because we've had 80 to 85 degree weather, so we've actually been able to really dial down and stress the vines and get even smaller cluster and berry sizes this year compared to last, just because we've been able to water less this year. So it's hot now. We're going to get to 100 degrees today, so we put on a little bit of water, but vine growth has stopped, and you know, we're hitting veraison now, starting fruit thinning, and so we're right on pace.
So end of July here, when do you anticipate harvest probably?
On this block for cab, probably the first or second week in October.
All right, man.
First week of October.
Great job out here at Shampoo Vineyard, as you always do. Thanks, Dan.
All right.
Here at the Discovery Vineyard, July 2016. What do we got going here, big guy? Looks like a nice little crop load.
Fruit's looking good, small berries, hot year. Should be really concentrated fruit this year, I think.
Well, you've done an amazing job here at the Discovery Vineyard. We're super excited about the 15 we have in the barrel and the 16 now out here. What do you think the biggest differences are, maybe from this vintage and last year?
Well, this year started out even hotter and sooner, but I think the weather is moderated, and seems to me like we're just about on the same path as we were last year in terms of harvest time.
Awesome. Now you mentioned the berries were a little bit smaller this year. Can you maybe show us a cluster and what you mean by that?
Yes, they're just the size is smaller, and also most of the clusters are a little bit smaller. We've tried to really hone down our watering schedule and trying to really get a good handle on it so that we can end up with some really good fruit this year.
Well, what I understand is small berries is a good thing for Cabernet.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Thanks, pal. Yeah, Sadie, we got you on video right now because you're doing an awesome job out here at Seven Hills. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about the 2016 vintage and how it's shaping up here in the Walla Walla Valley.
Oh man, this has been an awesome vintage. Pest pressure's been low. We've had a pretty easy time just cruising through without watering much, and canopy shut down really nicely, so they're smaller this year. I couldn't be happier.
Awesome. Well, it looks beautiful. Looking at these grapes right here, the berry size looks awesome. The canopy's beautiful. And these old vines. Talk to us about Block 14 and these old vines here in Seven Hills.
These vines were planted in 1998. There wasn't a whole lot of planted vines in Walla Walla in 1998, so they're considered pretty old for here.
Yeah, well, we're real lucky. And thanks for wearing that beautiful t-shirt today. Out here at the Pepper Bridge Vineyard with Tom Walliser. Tom, beautiful looking fruit out here. 2016, looks like we're off to a great start. Talk a little bit about this vintage and where we are with the fruit right now.
Well, we started out really early this year. In fact, we were probably 2 weeks ahead of normal when we started out this spring. So we had early bud break, really warm weather in April and May, and a lot of growth early in terms of canopy. Bloom was also early, but it completed in a relatively short time, so we have good fruit set. And then everything's kind of slowed down in terms of the canopy. It's set well. You can see all the fruit from both sides, and we've got almost a perfect distribution on the clusters. You know, there's probably 3 to 3.5 tons hanging there. Do a little green thinning at veraison and wait for harvest. So everything looks really good.
Thanks, Tom. Passing time owner Kevin Hughes arriving at the Richland Airport here this morning to check out the Red Mountain Vineyards. Good morning, Kevin.
Morning, Mr. Heward.
How we doing?
Morning, Mr. Peterson.
How was the flight over?
A short hour, 6 minutes.
Beautiful. Welcome.
Well, yeah, this is kind of crazy. It's the, it's the 27th of July, and you can look at the veraison that we have out here right now. So, I mean, this is probably some of the earliest that we've seen on Red Mountain.
Yeah, even compared to last year, which was, obviously the hottest year on record.
Yeah.
I know it started hot here early on this spring, and then it kind of cooled off, but maybe it didn't cool off enough. I mean, it looks like the stuff's rapidly going, coming along.
Yeah. And the weather we've had the past few weeks has been perfect for veraison too, at this 80, 85 degree weather that we've had, even though it's hot this week, but veraison has just been racing along. I mean, we're just getting ready to start color thinning, and the day we start we'll probably be behind because it's just moving so fast right now.
Sure.
So but it looks beautiful though. I mean,
it
we've
does.
we've got a really nice crop. We're really getting some really nice veraison. It looks really, really even veraison pretty much. So it's going to be I think we're really looking good.
Yeah, well, you do a great job out here, pal. And this is 4th or 5th leaf now.
This
here.
This is 5th leaf. Yes.
5th leaf here.
I get myself all confused with all of these plantings we're doing, but yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Clone 8, correct?
Yep. This is all clone 8.
Yeah. Well, beautiful looking stuff. We're excited
Yeah,
to
we've
work
really
with your
got
fruit
some.
again.
I mean, we had a beautiful set this year. You look at the clusters, just
really nice size
clusters.
berries.
Yeah.
Not too big.
Nope.
Very, very nice.
Yep.
All right.
I'm excited. I think this is, last year I thought was a good year. The fruit was beautiful last year, but I mean, we're setting ourselves up again for another just beautiful year, I think. I think the fruit's going to be fantastic.
All right. Thanks, Marshall.
Yeah.
vines, good sap flow, very, very even crop. This is one of our kind of our bread and butter of some of our labels. Very, very consistent yield. We're able to get all of our canopies and our yields dialed in right around about 3.5 tons per acre every year. Beautiful fruit. These nice old vines. We're able to see very, very little heat stress. So even during these heat waves and earlier harvests, we're getting nice clean fruits. Not seeing as much of the shriveling stress early in the season like we do on some of the younger plantings or on other poorer soils. These we've got a nice consistent 36 to 48 inches of topsoil before you hit caliche, so that water stress is really at a minimal for Red Mountain.
Yeah, really beautiful stuff. And so these warm years back to back to back now. You've had a little bit of a cool down here in July, but it's heating up again today, almost 100 degrees. When do you anticipate passing time picking these grapes?
Well, it was an early bloom, so I'm still predicting a similar pick time as last year, probably third week of September. With that cooler weather that we've had through July, I'm hoping that we have the same pick date but lower bricks than usual.
Yeah.
That way we're not into the 26, 27 overripe fruit. Yeah. Just beautiful 25, keeping those alcohols in check, and really having some wines with some great aging potential and not just fruit bombs right out of the gate.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you getting us into this old block here at Red Mountain Vineyard, and look forward to working with your fruit for years to come.
Likewise, Damon. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Out here at Clipson Vineyard with Julia. Julia, unbelievable. The grapes look awesome. Not quite, a little Verasion, but tell us a little bit about this 2016 vintage here.
The 2016 vintage is not going to be early like it was last year. Awesome. The weather has had more of an undulating effect where you have a hot week followed by a cool week. So it's going to give the grapes a lot of extra hang time, which they really didn't have last year. So the berry size is a little bit smaller than last year, so the fruit will be a little bit more concentrated.
Love it. And talk to us about these old vines. I mean, how old is this block of vineyard here in Clipson?
This block was planted in 1984.
Yeah.
It's Washington Cab Clone 8, and just makes wonderful wine, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
I love it. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
And this is the hot side where we have a little bit more Verasion than the cool side.
Yeah. So here on this hot side, do you grow the canopy any different with all this morning sun, or?
On the hot side that gets all the afternoon sun,
okay, it's the afternoon
we're going to have a little bit more canopy to shade the fruit so we
sure.
don't get as much sunburn.
Right.
And you can tell that it is getting a little more sun exposure than on the cool side where these really aren't really the Verasion yet.
And what's the crop load here, if you had to guess? What'd you hanging it at?
This will be, after we come through and take off secondaries, this will be 3 to 3.5 tons an acre.
Sounds great for Red Mountain.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.